Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Noor Borno. It's been a year. I can't believe it's been a year. I've been postponing working on this series apparently for a year, but I'm back. So I hope that we could finish working on this, let's say, series of lessons or sessions regarding writing. So if you haven't watched the first and second sessions, I advise you to watch them because these writing is a process and we're working step by step. So you won't go to step 3 without going through step 1 and 2 first. Okay. In the first video, or in the first session, I had to go and watch the videos again to remember what I said. We discussed the pre-writing stage. We discussed what we should do before we start writing. And in the second video, we started exploring the writing process a little bit more, but we didn't start writing. Now we're going to start writing. Usually any essay, article, blog, it consists of paragraphs. So it made sense to start with how we write paragraphs, and then we could go maybe further into articles, reports, blogs, and so on. So basically, when we write a paragraph, generally, I want you to think of it from a general perspective. What does a paragraph generally consist of? Because we're going to notice that when we write an essay, for example, we don't follow the paragraph structure in particular or word by word, but we're going to get to that. So let's just go step by step. In a paragraph, you usually need a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and maybe a conclusion. And I'm saying maybe a conclusion because a paragraph is something that's very short. And if I'm going to take time introducing the paragraph and then take time or take space concluding the paragraph, it's going to limit the number of supporting sentences I use. And generally, people are interested in the supporting sentences more than they're interested in the repeated conclusion of the paraphrasing of the first couple of sentences. Now, what is a topic sentence? Well, basically, it's a sentence that announces the topic of my paragraph. It's called a topic sentence. So it's one sentence. Some people may write 2 sentences, but I'm always up for just one sentence is enough. And it tells people who are reading your paragraph, it tells them what to expect, what they're going to read. And that answers the second question, why should there be a topic sentence? Whenever you go or wherever you go, you usually there's something that guides you. There's a map, maybe there are guidelines, there is a manual, right? Because it prepares you, it guides you, it enlightens you, it tells you what to expect. It tells you if you're interested in this topic, you're going to find information about it here. But if I don't introduce the topic, then people are going to have to read all sorts of paragraphs in the world in order to reach the information they need. And that is why when we talk about academic writing and even blog writing, should always be clear. Don't go around saying unnecessary things. People want to know. And that's what we're going to mention in a bit. So a topic sentence is very necessary to help readers know what to expect. How can my topic sentence be like? There are 3 different ways to write a topic sentence. You can be very clear, mention to the reader the number of ideas you're going to discuss, and mention to them the topics you're going to discuss. It can be clear, you just mention the topics. You don't say how many ideas you're going to discuss. And basically, it's like implying the number, because if I say, for example, I'm going to talk about ABC, it's like saying I'm going to talk about 3 things, A, B, C. Vague, you don't have a specific topic mentioned, and you don't obviously mention the number of ideas. Some people just do, the number of ideas without the topics. But again, these can be classified as vague because you're not providing people with, substantial information. Let's see examples. The electricity shortage in Gaza affects 3 main groups: patients, students, and merchants. So this is the very clearest way of introducing the topic. So basically we have a theme, we have an idea. The idea is the electricity shortage. That's the idea, okay? That's the umbrella under which my other ideas are going to be explained, or the topics are going to be explained. So this is the very general idea, that there is electricity shortage in Gaza. But the topics that I'm going to discuss, the topics that I'm going to provide supporting sentences for, are the fact that the electricity shortage affects 3 groups: patients, students, and merchants. Now, that's what I meant with being very clear. You're telling me that there are 3 main groups that are affected. These 3 main groups are patients, students, and merchants. Now, the second type, which is clear, you just say the electricity shortage in the Gaza Strip affects patients, students, and merchants. So I just eliminated the number. It doesn't need, a person with a very high IQ to understand that it's going to be about 3 main topics: patients, students, and merchants. But like we said, it's going to force the person to count, but it's clear. See, it's clear. It doesn't it's not vague. The electricity shortage in the Gaza Strip affects people's lives. Why it's vague? Because, like we said, a topic sentence introduces topic. Here, you're introducing the idea, the theme, but you're not introducing the topics. What are you going to talk about? Maybe I'm a researcher who is interested in medicine, okay? And I'm doing a research on how the Israeli occupation, or how, due to the electricity shortage, the patients in the Gaza Strip are suffering severely. Now, you might not include this in your paragraph, and I wouldn't know. I'd have to read the entire paragraph in order to see whether you're talking about the issue or not. So that would waste my time as a researcher, as an academic. It's going to waste my time. But if you had mentioned from the beginning the main topics you're going to be addressing, because the electricity shortage affects people, not just students, merchants, and patients. It affects other categories, right? So instead of wasting my time, you just be clear and tell me the main topics that are going to be addressed. Okay, so which type is best? Do I use a very clear statement, a very clear topic sentence where I, for example, what was I saying? Yeah, based on what do I choose the topic sentence, the correct way of saying it? Well, you need to ask yourself certain questions. Number 1, why am I writing this paragraph? Does it require clarity or mystery? For example, if I'm doing a blog post and I want people to, and this blog post is something mysterious, I want people to read through the entire essay. I don't want to, for example, I don't want to declare everything from the beginning. So being very clear is not going to help me here. Am I writing it for children? If I'm writing it for children like things to be clear. Because if it is complex, if it doesn't, tell them things very clearly, they're going to be, not able to understand. Do I want the readers to get the point immediately or not? This is basically related to writing for the web, and we're going, inshallah, I will be doing some videos about content writing. And usually when we write on the web, we care about the amount of time the visitor spends on our website. And if I provide everything from the beginning, it's like the reader is not going to spend a lot of time going through my essay or blog. So in this case, being mysterious is going to be good for me as a business owner or as a blog owner or a website owner. So it depends. Now, your turn. I want you to write a topic sentence based on the following information. So you're doing you're doing a paragraph. You choose the topic, you choose the theme, it's fine. But the first one is, my readers, I want them to spend more time exploring my website. So which type of topic sentences should I be writing? Very clear, or vague? I want to facilitate the searching process for researchers or students. Should I be very clear, or vague? So in the comments section, explain which type of topic sentences you chose and why. And it would be good for you to practice writing the topic sentence. So it would be good for you to actually post the topic sentences you have written. I'm providing you with examples here. Poverty causes 3 major problems. Obviously, this is very clear. Gap between classes, crimes, and hostility within families. Pollution has 3 main types: air, water, and soil. Schools in Gaza are small, lack ventilation, and are crowded. Now, they don't differ much from what we just mentioned, so I'm just going to go over them very quickly. But I want you to pay attention to something: the punctuation of the sentences. In number 1 and 2, notice that we used the colon. Now, one of the main uses of colons is to give a definition, is to list certain ideas afterwards. So here we use the colon when it is a full sentence. So the sentence ends. Poverty causes 3 major problems. I can use a full stop. So the sentence ends. But then we have extra information, definitions, listing. So that requires using the colon. Here, schools in Gaza are, if I add a colon here, like the 2 dots, if I add them here, it's going to be problematic. Why? Because I cannot replace it with a full stop. I cannot say schools in Gaza are, full stop. It's not a full sentence. It's not a meaningful idea. So when the listing is part of the sentence, we do not use punctuation. Okay, again, when the listing, the definition, whatever that follows, is part of the structure of the sentence, we do not separate it. We do not use semicolon, colon, or comma, or whatever. But here, because the sentence finished, the idea meaningful, everything is good, but then I'm adding extra information, so I use the colon. Okay, how do I know if it's a good topic sentence or not? If it's clear, to the point, structure is good, grammar is good, punctuation is good, it's a good topic sentence. Some people, remember when I said one sentence, and I always stress use just one sentence? Like, your job is not to make the reader's life harder. Your job is to make the reader's life easier. So don't use complex sentences or compound sentences. Don't use if, although. Be clear. Being clear is vital, especially when you write for the web. People don't want to go through, it's not a literary piece. You're not writing a story, you're not writing a novel, you're not writing a poem. You're writing for specific reasons, okay? Don't be too general. You're discussing the topics, not the main idea. That's why I explained to you the difference between the idea, which is at the beginning of the sentence, and the topics that I'm going to explore in the body paragraphs. Use proper punctuation marks, and I advise you to check this website, the punctuation guide. Very useful, very, very informative. It's really good for you, and it helps you scroll around and go over all sorts of punctuation marks and provides you with examples. It's very, very thorough, so I really advise you to check it. I'm not going to discuss supporting sentences now because I need to keep things for the future. But remember, when it comes to supporting sentences, they're there to support you. They're there to support your topic. They're there to support the idea you're trying to explore. And always remember, we write to persuade, to entertain, or to inform. And you will not achieve any of these three if you do not use good supporting sentences that support your topic, okay? So that's why we say supporting sentences help you elaborate. We'll discuss them in the next session, inshallah, and see you then. And inshallah, it's not going to be next year. I'll try to do this weekly or maybe, every couple of days. Don't forget to, no, I'm not gonna say that, too silly. But if you want to subscribe, like, and share, that would be fine. Assalamu alaikum, and see you in our next session.